What if I told you that your chronic neck pain has nothing to do with muscle tension or poor posture? What if it's hidden biofilm and phlegm stuck in your neck channels that doctors don't even recognize? You wake up and something already feels off. Your neck is stiff, like it never fully relaxed during the night. Some mornings, turning your head feels like moving through glue. Other times, it eases up during the day, only to come back the next morning. You've probably tried massages, stretching, heat packs, maybe even painkillers or physical therapy. And sure, sometimes they help for a few days, but the stiffness always returns, often for no obvious reason. It's not just about the neck either. Tension creeps down into your shoulders or sometimes even the lower back. You start to wonder, is this just aging? Stress? My posture? But what if the root cause is deeper and harder to see? Today, you'll discover the real causes of chronic neck pain. Learn how hidden infection can be the source of all the trouble, and explore natural protocols that can bring real relief. I'm Paul, and for years I struggled with health problems that no doctor could explain, from brain fog and relentless allergies to breathing problems and chronic fatigue. I started studying Chinese medicine and naturopathy to solve my own issues. For 5 years, nobody knew what was really going on. Eventually, I discovered a hidden pathogen in my lungs and sinuses, mold that was breaking down my body. During this journey, I tried countless medical consultations, therapies, herbs, and supplements. I learned so much, and today I share this knowledge openly so people can get back to health faster using natural methods. Here's something most people don't realize about neck pain. You're not dealing with muscle tension or poor posture. You're dealing with channels and lymphatic systems blocked by phlegm, mucus, and potentially something called biofilm. But do you know what biofilm is? And where does this mucus come from? We'll explore this in detail in this video. This isn't just theory. I struggled with this for years myself, but I'll also cite research that confirms what I'm saying. Let me start with some ancient wisdom. In traditional Chinese medicine, the concept of pathological mucus has been known for over 2,000 years. Ancient Chinese doctors recognized that accumulation of a substance they call tan, pathological mucus, can be the cause of a wide range of health problems, including pain and stiffness. They called mucus the introduction to 1,000 diseases. According to ancient records, the great physician Zhang Zhongjing, living during the Han Dynasty from 150 to 219 AD, first described the connection between phlegm accumulation and neck pain in his classic work Shanghan Lun. Legend says that Master Zhang observed a fisherman who woke up every morning with painful neck stiffness. Local doctors of those times recommended only massages and warm compresses. Zhang Zhongjing noticed, however, that the fisherman coughed up significant amounts of thick phlegm, especially in the morning. The master diagnosed the problem as Xiao Tanzu, blockage of the neck channel by phlegm, and for the first time created the formula Xiao Chai Hu Tang, which not only freed the blocked channels but also addressed the underlying cause: accumulation of pathological mucus. This reveals something fascinating that most people haven't heard about. To understand your chronic neck pain, you must first learn about two main sources of pathological mucus that can block your energy channels and lymphatic system. These two mechanisms often work independently, but can also overlap, creating particularly stubborn cases. Type 1. Food-derived mucus. The first type is mucus originating from food. This type of pathological mucus is a direct result of dietary errors. The main culprits are dairy, sugar, and gluten. Casein, a protein in cow's milk that acts like a glue in your body. It sticks to other things and becomes thick and hard to break down. A study conducted by Bartley and McGlashan in 2010 showed that when your body digests a certain kind of milk, called A1 milk, it creates a chemical that tells your body to make more mucus, especially in your nose, throat, and lungs. Here's how it works. You drink milk. Casein goes into your stomach and forms thick clumps. If your digestion isn't strong, some of those clumps don't fully break down. Bits of undigested casein get into your blood. Your immune system sees them as a threat and creates extra mucus to protect you. That mucus can build up in your body, especially in places like your neck and shoulders, where circulation is slower. This can leave you feeling clogged, stiff, or foggy without knowing why. Gluten, especially when combined with sugar, creates a sticky substance in your gut like glue. If your digestion is weak, your body has trouble breaking it down. So, this glue-like mix can stick to the lining of your intestines and slow everything down. Dr. Alessio Fasano, a well-known doctor from Massachusetts General Hospital, discovered that gluten triggers a substance called zonulin. Zonulin makes the walls of your intestines more leaky, like tiny holes opening up in a protective barrier. When that happens, things that shouldn't enter your bloodstream, like undigested food particles or toxins, can slip through. This can cause inflammation, allergies, or problems with your immune system. Sugar not only feeds pathogens that produce biofilm, but also directly affects mucus properties, making it more sticky and harder to remove by the body's natural cleansing mechanisms. Type 2. Pathogen-produced biofilm. The second type of mucus is biofilm produced by pathogens. Biofilm is a much more complex and insidious form of pathological mucus. This isn't a random byproduct. It's a highly organized, protective matrix purposely created by bacteria, fungi, and other microorganisms. Here's something I learned through my own experience that might help you too. Think of biofilm like a sticky, invisible fortress. It's made up of multiple layers, polysaccharides, proteins, and inside live bacteria, fungi, and viruses, shielded from your immune system, enabling transport of nutrients. Communication mediators, signaling molecules coordinating colony actions. The main biofilm producers are molds such as Aspergillus niger and Aspergillus fumigatus, fungal species that, according to research by Boves et al. From 2007, can form three-dimensional biofilm assemblies 10,200 micrometers thick. Candida albicans, yeast that in research published in 2020 showed ability to form biofilm resistant to conventional antifungal drugs, as demonstrated in studies on N-acetylcysteine's fungistatic action. But also bacterias, Borrelia burgdorferi, bacteria causing Lyme disease. A University of New Haven study by Sapi from 2012 showed substantial evidence that Borrelia burgdorferi is capable of forming biofilm structures in vitro, providing refuge for individual cells under hostile conditions. Yersinia enterocolitica, often undiagnosed bacteria that, according to Institut Pasteur research, can produce particularly resistant biofilm in connective tissues. Here's where it gets really interesting. Biofilm isn't randomly distributed in the body. Pathogens strategically choose locations that offer access to nutrients, protection from defense mechanisms, and the ability to control body functions. Preferred locations in the neck area are cervical lymph nodes, strategic points controlling lymph from head and neck. Intermuscular spaces, areas with weaker blood circulation. Eye socket and sinuses, connected to energy channels. According to TCM, the base of the skull is a passage point for many anatomical structures. Research published in clinical literature shows that biofilm formation is increasingly recognized as a significant factor in chronic infections and inflammatory conditions affecting various body systems. Now, you understand why massages, physiotherapy, and painkillers bring only temporary relief. This isn't a matter of poor technique. It's a fundamental error in understanding the problem. Here's the connection I made that changed my approach to the subject. When a massage therapist works on your neck, mechanical pressure can indeed move fragments of mucus and biofilm from one place to another, temporarily improve lymph circulation, and reduce local muscle tension. You feel relief because pressure on pain receptors is temporarily reduced. Biofilm displacement can free blocked energy channels, endorphins released during massage mask pain. But in a short period of time, biofilm reorganizes. In new configuration, Pathogens produce fresh protective layers, so pain and stiffness return. Over time, biofilm becomes thicker and more resistant, requiring increasingly intensive interventions. The problem spreads to other areas like back and shoulders, especially if your diet is rich in simple sugars and dairy, which additionally create an ideal environment for pathogens and promote mucus production. Research has shown that antibiotics penetrate biofilm only in 5 to 15%. Anti-inflammatory drugs are neutralized by toxins secreted by biofilm. Painkillers mask symptoms but don't affect the cause. It's like trying to extinguish a fire in a bunker by pouring water on it from outside. Most water flows off the armor, and the fire burns on inside. Now that you understand the problem mechanisms, proper recognition of what type of pathological mucus you're dealing with becomes crucial. And if it's a hidden infection, which pathogen? Treatment strategy and success prognosis depend on this. Diagnosis of hidden infections related to biofilm requires specialized tests. Urine mycotoxin test is the most accurate method for detecting hidden fungal infections. The test analyzes fungal metabolites excreted by kidneys, even if the fungi themselves hide deep in tissues. If you are interested in these tests, I left a link to trusted laboratories below this video. The Western blot test for Lyme disease is generally more sensitive than the standard ELISA test, especially in cases of chronic infection. While ELISA is often used as an initial screening tool, Western blot can detect antibodies to specific Borrelia proteins such as P23, often linked to early infection, P39, associated with prolonged infection, and P83, frequently seen in later stage Lyme disease. While biofilm may reduce the immune system's ability to detect active bacteria, leading to negative serology results, this is just one of several factors that can make Lyme diagnosis complex. Bioresonance, though controversial in conventional medicine, can be a useful tool for identifying pathogen burdens. After many months of unsuccessful therapy, it was bioresonance that indicated fungal infection in me, which I later confirmed with blood tests. For diagnosis of dietary mucus accumulation, you can use self-assessment through tongue examination. In traditional Chinese medicine, the tongue is a map of internal organ conditions. What to check? White thick coating indicates cold phlegm. Yellow coating suggests hot phlegm. Tongue swelling is a sign of dampness accumulation in the body. Tooth marks on edges indicate spleen deficiency and dampness accumulation. The more coating, or the more swollen, infiltrated the tongue, the greater phlegm accumulation in the body. In traditional Chinese medicine, there is a channel that runs exactly through those areas most commonly affected by chronic pain: side of neck, shoulders and upper back, temples and ear area, ribs and chest side. It is called Xiaoyang. Xiaoyang becomes blocked by phlegm. Tanzu, qi energy cannot flow freely, leading to localized pain. Energy builds up before the obstacle. Stiffness. Lack of qi flow means lack of tissue vitality. Alternating symptoms. Pain comes and goes because biofilm reorganizes. Chinese medicine makes a key distinction between cold and hot phlegm, determines herb choice and treatment strategy. Completely different herbal mixtures are used depending on which type of mucus we're dealing with. Cold phlegm hantan has white, clear, watery appearance. Accompanying symptoms are fatigue, sallow complexion, cold hands and feet. Tongue pale with white coating. Treatment uses warming and drying herbs. Hot phlegm retan has a yellow, thick, sticky appearance. Accompanying symptoms are irritability, red face, tendency to overheat. Tongue red with yellow coating. Treatment uses cooling and clearing herbs. The most versatile formula for Xiaoyang blockage by phlegm is Xiao Chai Hu Tang, minor Bupleurum decoction. It consists of Chai Hu, Bupleurum chinense, unblocks Xiaoyang and raises energy. Huangqin, Scutellaria bicalensis, clears heat from biofilm. Banxia, Pinellia ternata, transforms phlegm, opens knots. Shengjiang, fresh ginger, warms, harmonizes, supports digestion. Dangshin, Codonopsis, strengthens qi. Modern ginseng substitute. Zhigancao, honey-fried licorice, harmonizes all ingredient actions. Dazao, Chinese date, strengthens spleen, supports middle energetic point. My personal journey. I struggled with chronic neck pain for many years, experiencing exactly the pattern described above. Waking with pain and stiffness, sometimes complete inability to move my head. Temporary relief from massage only for problems to return. Everything changed when I finally understood what was happening. I was diagnosed with fungal infection in lungs and sinuses, Aspergillus. When I started treating this underlying infection with herbal protocols, I noticed something unusual. Initially, stiffness greatly worsened. When I started attacking the mold, it created more biofilm, leading to even greater channel blockage and more stiffness. This led me deeper into Chinese medicine, where I discovered protocols specifically for opening Shaoyang channels, namely the neck channels. The breakthrough moment came when I started using Chinese herbs designed to clear mucus and open blocked pathways. I used Xiao Chai Hu Tang. I bought raw herbs, didn't take extracts or pills. I ordered herbs and boiled them in the traditional way. Very important. The mixture must be tailored to you, because cold white mucus requires different herbs than hot yellow mucus. Already after the first cup of herbs, I felt myself starting to expel phlegm from my throat. And to my surprise, after 3 cups, I spat out half a glass of thick, sticky substance, phlegm and biofilm. But my neck completely immediately unblocked. Suddenly, it all became more real. Unfortunately, the problem returned. But why? Because as long as you have an active form of fungus or pathogen, it continuously produces this biofilm that clogs channels. And as long as the main problem isn't solved, pathogen elimination, the problem will keep returning. My antifungal protocol lasted months, but opening the neck and cleaning lymph became an essential element of my therapy. Only when the fungus started weakening, it produced less and less biofilm, and my neck stayed unblocked longer and longer. Key lessons learned. Diagnosis is key. Without pathogen identification, treatment is shooting blind. Consistency is crucial. Sporadic herb use doesn't bring lasting results. Holistic approach. Biofilm is just a symptom and must treat the entire infection. Patience. Biofilm elimination is a process of months, not days. First, establish diagnosis. Know what you're dealing with. This is the real key to the problem. Once you know, only then prepare a mixture tailored to you. Modern biofilm breaking protocols. Proteolytic enzymes offer modern support backed by real research. Bromelain, an enzyme from pineapple, breaks down protein biofilm structures. A 2023 study by Silva et al. Showed that 1% bromelain significantly inhibits S. aureus biofilm formation by up to 4-fold and destroys mature biofilms by up to 6.4-fold. Dosage is 500 to 1000 milligrams on an empty stomach, twice daily, 1 hour before eating or 2 hours after. Serrapeptase, an enzyme from silkworm bacteria, particularly effective against bacterial biofilms. Research shows that serratiopeptidase works like a biological nanodrill to disrupt bacterial biofilm membranes, thus paving the way for other treatments to be more effective. Dosage is 10,000 to 40,000 units on an empty stomach. Start with small doses and gradually increase. N-acetylcysteine, an amino acid that breaks disulfide bridges in biofilm. Research published in 2020 by Oliveira et al. Confirmed effectiveness against Candida albicans biofilms, showing that high concentrations of NAC had significant fungistatic effects against both drug-resistant and susceptible strains. Dosage is 600 to 1200 milligrams daily, best with vitamin C. When you start breaking biofilm and killing pathogens, toxins are massively released into the bloodstream. This can trigger Herxheimer reaction, temporary worsening of well-being. You feel bad or even very bad. Typical symptoms are intensified neck pain in the first days, fatigue and brain fog, nausea and digestive disturbances, muscle and joint pain, irritability and mood swings. How to prepare: liver support, milk thistle, NAC, glutathione. Hydration: minimum 3 liters high-quality water daily. I recorded a separate video just on a subject. Treatment timeline expectations: bacterial and fungal problems require 3 to 12 months treatment. I'm sorry to say this, but unfortunately that's the truth. It takes time and costs money. Why are fungi particularly difficult? Fungi have cellular structure similar to human cells. They have hibernation ability, can transition to dormant forms for years. They have genetic adaptability, quickly develop resistance. They have deep penetration, can colonize hard-to-reach tissues. Dietary problems related to mucus require 30 to 90 days. Why are dietary problems easier? No active pathogen. After eliminating source, mucus isn't replenished. Better access. Herbs reach mucus unprotected by living pathogens more easily. Faster regeneration. Body rebuilds natural cleansing mechanisms faster. Prevention. After learning principles, it is easy to avoid recurrence. Now that you understand the complexity of chronic neck pain and biofilm's role in its development. Key actions: establish a precise diagnosis. Determine whether you're dealing with biofilm or dietary mucus accumulation. Find an appropriate specialist, ideally a Chinese medicine practitioner or naturopath experienced in working with biofilms. If you can't find anyone, feel free to reach out to me. Prepare for the long-haul clearing. Biofilm is a marathon, not a sprint. Monitor your progress through regular testing and by tracking your symptoms closely. If this video opened your eyes to a new possibility, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And in the comments, let me know. Do you recognize these patterns of biofilm or dietary mucus in yourself? I wish you deep and lasting health because I know what it's like to be sick, and I wouldn't wish that journey on anyone. See you in the next video.